Look at the modern athlete. Burnt out, struggling with brain fog despite a 200-a-month supplement stack. Now, look at his great-grandfather in 1931. No organic labels, no fancy powders. They call it the era of desperation. But biologically, they were superior to us in every way. They used chemical reactions we are only rediscovering today to keep a generation alive on $1 a week. This was the perfect longevity protocol hidden in a lunchbox. One of these was so effective at stabilizing blood sugar that schools tried to ban it. Hit that subscribe button. Let's count down the 10 smartest forgotten sandwiches that will change how you think about food. 1. The Lard sandwich, the stable fat legend. The Lard sandwich. In the coal fields of Pennsylvania, miners needed 900 calories just to survive a shift. Mothers didn't reach for inflammatory seed oils. They used lard. While the 1940s marketing machine told us to trade lard for modern processed shortenings, Vaxalis knows better. Lard is a stable, saturated fat that humans have thrived on for 10,000 years. Unlike today's vegetable oils, it doesn't oxidize at high temperatures, meaning it won't trigger the systemic inflammation that leads to heart disease. It was pure, raw energy that kept a generation swinging pickaxes while we collapse after an office shift. This was biological fuel, leading us to a pungent immune booster that cost a single penny. 2. The onion sandwich, the quercetin bomb. Raw onion, buttered bread, and salt. In 1933, this cost a penny and provided the quercetin, a powerful antioxidant, needed to prevent scurvy and protect the lungs. Onions are rich in prebiotic fibers that feed the beneficial bacteria in your microbiome. While the French called it cuisine, American workers used it for solitude and strength. It provided a sharp hit of nutrients that kept the immune system active in the harshest winters. It was the bachelor's dinner, a survival staple that proves you don't need a farmer's market to achieve peak health, just as you don't need sugar-loaded spreads to get your protein. 3. The pattern break. Real peanut butter versus big food. Before Skippy and Jif, peanut butter was just peanuts and salt. In 1932, it was a luxury, but a biological one. University of Georgia studies in 2018 confirmed that these Depression-era recipes contained twice the protein of modern brands. Why? Because they weren't padded with sugar, stabilizers, and inflammatory hydrogenated oils. Your grandmother's peanut butter made her children stronger. The modern version just makes corporations richer. We traded nutritional density for convenience, and our metabolic health paid the price. 4. The Liverwurst sandwich, the original multivitamin. This was the German-American answer to protein scarcity. Liver is the most nutrient-dense organ on the planet, loaded with vitamin A, B12, and heme iron. It used the parts of the pig that modern Americans now throw away. But those parts were the secret to a high-functioning nervous system. We became ashamed of these foods as we got wealthier, but in that shame, we lost our most potent source of natural energy. This leads us to a mock version of luxury that accidentally mastered texture and fat. 5. The salmon patty sandwich, the bone density elixir. Canned salmon mixed with cracker crumbs. This was the Friday staple for families who couldn't afford fresh fish. But canned salmon is a secret weapon for bone mineral density. Because the soft bones are included, you're getting massive amounts of bioavailable calcium and vitamin D, along with omega-3 fatty acids for brain health. The ritual of the Friday fish sandwich was a weekly infusion of brain-building fats that outshines any modern artisan burger. 6. The PB and pickle sandwich, the glucose blunter. The peanut butter and pickle sandwich. It sounds like a dare, but it's actually a metabolic masterpiece. The acetic acid in the vinegar of the pickle does something incredible. It blunts the glucose response of the bread and the richness of the peanut butter. Our great-grandmothers discovered this hack long before foodie blogs. It provided texture, salt, and glycemic control, proving that survival and intelligence are the same thing. This same intelligence is what made one specific fruit sandwich a schoolhouse legend. 7. The tomato sandwich, the banned vascular protector. This is the one school teachers tried to ban. Why? Because it was messy. But for a few weeks every August, poor families ate like kings. Fresh tomatoes are loaded with lycopene, an antioxidant that protects the heart and skin. Slathered in mayonnaise for essential fats, it was a perfect delivery system for vascular health. We traded these garden-fresh nutrients for convenience, but the biological cost of that trade is what we now call chronic disease. 8. The tongue sandwich, the Silky B12 reserve. Beef tongue boiled until tender. It cost half as much as brisket because people didn't know what to do with it. But tongue is an incredible source of zinc and vitamin B12. It's more tender than roast beef and packed with the fats needed for hormonal production. Immigrants brought this knowledge of how to eat well cheaply, treating poverty food as a luxury. It's a lesson in nose-to-tail wisdom that leads us to the ultimate microbiome fuel. 9. The bean sandwich, the microbiome engine. Cold pinto beans mashed on bread. A pound of beans cost 5 cents and fed a family for a week. Beans are a powerhouse of resistant starch and prebiotic fiber. They feed the specific bacteria in your gut that help regulate weight and mood. Modern nutritionists now call this ratio ideal. But your great-grandmother didn't need a study. She just needed her children to be full and strong for the railroad yards and oil fields. 10. The sugar sandwich, the accidental post-workout. Butter and granulated sugar on white bread. It was the cheapest sweet a child could taste. While we look at this as empty calories today, food scientists now recognize the rapid energy absorption of the fat and simple sugar combo. For a malnourished child facing a 3-mile walk home and afternoon chores, this was a critical glycogen replenishment protocol. It wasn't just desperation, it was a calculated hit of energy that kept a generation moving when the math didn't work out. The history books don't teach you about these sandwiches because there's no profit in them. The Bureau of Home Economics actually discouraged these meals because they were too cheap. They didn't fit the industrial narrative. They wanted you to forget how to make something from nothing. My challenge to you, try the onion sandwich or the peanut butter and pickle. Not because you have to, but to reclaim the biological wisdom we lost to convenience. Which one are you brave enough to put in your lunchbox tomorrow? Let me know in the comments if your family has a wish sandwich story they never told. Because at Vaxalis, we don't just remember the past, we use it to build a stronger future. Thanks for watching.